And today we're going to be discussing the proper venting for your dryer setup, because having the proper venting is not only going to save you money, offer shorter drying times, it's going to potentially save your house from a house fire.
And our producer off camera has a couple of photographs we've taken from a recent service call, maybe to help explain a little bit better.
Here we have photo number 1.
Okay, that's first of all, if you notice, that's a vinyl vent, which is like the biggest no-no going. That violates fire codes. And if you do get a fire in your vent, not only is that going to burn, but that's going to release gases that are not friendly. So that type of venting should be removed. And also, that lint buildup is extraordinary. Okay, what's the next one we have? Okay, also, this is where that flexible vent attached to the metal vent, which there's a significant buildup in there as well. And you can see that more astonishing than anything is that this is a townhome that had to be cleaned once every 2 years by a certified cleaning company. So this one was certified as having been cleaned less than a year ago. So I'm not sure what they did, but it doesn't look like they cleaned that. Okay, lastly, this same house, the venting was restricted so much you could see the lint built up inside the dryer, and it built up to a point where it got to where the heat source is. In this case, it's an open flame, it's a gas dryer, and it ignited the lint, which these people were fortunate that the fire stayed within the dryer, because it could have easily gone down that venting and caught the rest of their house on fire. So they called us for a performance issue with the dryer, which we stumbled across this, which was the cause of their problems.
Is the airflow what our technicians check first and foremost when they go look at a non-drying dryer?
They check that on every clothes dryer service call, and we do that free as part of a regular service on a clothes dryer. But you can call us just for a drying vent analysis. It's pretty inexpensive. I believe it's $39 just for an analysis. We take readings. But
and that'll include an estimate to get your venting up to par?
If it's necessary, but it'll, once we take the readings and do an inspection, you'll know for sure exactly where you stand.
Okay, and I think that I know a big question that people have is, how often should I get my dryer cleaned?
Well, the rule of thumb is once a year, but it's, it all depends on the installation and your usage. But so once a year, and also if you're trained on what to look for, that can help. But I would certainly have a professional look at least once every 2 years.
Good information. I think one of our technicians, who happens to be our local dryer expert, might be coming by soon, right?
Hopefully he'll be stopping by. In the meantime, what we notice in the field is that a significant number of homes have poor venting products installed or installed improperly. And I just wanted to share some of them with you. One of my favorite things is, probably all of you have seen, this kind of venting on the back of your dryer. It looks like metal, it's flexible, seems, it seems like the right thing, right?
What material is it actually made out of?
Well, it's foil. It's foil based, and I guess it's got some metal in it, but the problem is the flash point of this is relatively low. So if you're going to get a fire in this, it's going to burn. And my favorite thing is I actually pulled this out of one of our technicians' trucks, and but you can see, it says right there, I don't know if you can see it, but it says, not for use in clothes dryers, right there. So if you have this on the back of your dryer, you're probably going to want to replace. What we recommend you replace it with is, it's similar, but this is solid aluminum, and it's got a much higher tolerance to flame inside. So it's not, if there's a fire, it's going to stay inside the vent, and this will not catch fire.
So if there's a fire in the venting itself and it's not the proper venting, will it potentially burn through the aluminum?
Absolutely. Like this can burn, but that plastic vinyl will absolutely burn. It's not good. Another thing we don't like to see are any kind of plastic wall terminations. Like these are relatively inexpensive. They're plastic. They do okay when they're new, but the problem is like in a few years they're going to get brittle. They're going to break.
With the different weather changes, and the that termination is what's outside your house, right?
Exactly. And there's probably, aside from behind your dryer looking at that, it's probably the only thing you're going to see.
Mm.
But we do not recommend the 3 like these, because the air leaving your dryer, it's humid and it's laden with, lint, clothing particles. And those are going to stick to things. I mean, that's going to stick inside your venting, and it's definitely going to stick on these.
Mhm.
So, I mean, these get clogged really easily, really fast. And a lot of times they're not in places where you can clean it easily. And
Those openings look pretty big too,
well,
where like possibly a bird or some other small animal could possibly
Yeah.
get inside. I know we've had customers call in and they've had birds or small animals
happens
inside
quite a
their
bit.
venting.
Yeah, it happens quite a bit. But the actually the bad thing with this is you cannot clean your venting from the outside, because you can't get the 4-inch brush into there. So you have to remove
Mhm.
this. And if you have to take it off all the time and clean it, again, in a couple of years, it's going to break.
Mhm.
I think this is about $12 at your home improvement store. What we recommend is we have the venting we sell is a powder coated heavy gauge steel. So this is last a lifetime. It's not going to, shouldn't rust. It's not going to break down with the sun's rays or heat and cold. And one of the best things is that it opens up all the way. So when you go to clean it, you can fit like you can fit a 4-inch brush inside the venting without any obstructions. Makes it easier to do that.
And that 4-inch brush is part of the specialized dryer vent cleaning tools that our technicians would carry with them.
Yep, yes it is. And here's another thing you see quite frequently. Like this is pretty common. Like it's aluminum, looks pretty sturdy, right? Good job. But what the problem is here is it has a restricted opening. So you don't get the best airflow through here. The flap does open, but again, a problem is now cleaning. So cleaning this makes it difficult. You have to pull it off, makes for extra labor. Could run into problems with your siding and, caulking, and becomes a little bit of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
This one also, I don't know if you can see it, but it has a screen inside. See? That it has a screen. You should never have any kinds of screening inside dryer.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty fine mesh too. That would clog up fairly quickly.
It does. It clogs up instantly. So, I mean, they make this so you can take them out, but I've seen a lot of cases where people don't take them out. And so make sure, if you call Appliance Master, we'll always use the right products in venting. And you do it once, it's installed correctly. Once it'll relates to, you'll have fewer cleanings, and when you do have cleanings, they'll be easier. You'll have shorter dryer times. If your drying time averages 40 minutes and we can save just 10 minutes, that's 25% less energy drying time. I mean, over years, that's significant. Not only energy savings, but the life of your equipment. Okay, lastly, thing we have, even with a clean vent, sometimes you have friends in your yard that like warm air, like birds, squirrels, whatever. And we have this. This is also heavy gauge steel, powder coated, and this is
What do we call it? The Defender?
Yeah. The manufacturer shows, I think that's a squirrel.
Yep, it shows a squirrel and a bird's nest. 2 very common issues we run into with people that don't have the cages around the termination.
And this very easily fits over this. So, a lot of people we service live, even if you live in the city, I mean, I've seen birds fly into places in urban areas. So, we think every home should have something like this, all on truck stock. And in fact, for more in depth, I noticed we have our technician Donny passing through, and maybe he can share some of his stories. Hi, Donny.
Hello, guys. How are you, Bill?
Good.
Hey, Donny.
Kari, hi. Facebook Nation. So yeah, I've been doing dryer vent cleanings since I first started here, and I've seen some very interesting things.
You ever pull any animals out of venting?
Not an animal, but definitely their homes. I've pulled out 4 feet worth of birds' nests. I had the same dryer vent. Due to the plastic louvers getting sun dried and breaking, and the birds will fly right in there. It's not every day you go out to check your dryer vent, termination to see if it's still proper. But that's, when you have an issue with your clothes drying, that's when you call us, and then we come out, and I find that this is an issue, and I give you, a proper quote on what would be proper for your dryer vent in the end. But I mean, I've seen a lot of issues due to poor ventilation, and not just the end of your dryer vent, but we're talking, the venting inside your homes. I mean, a good question that comes up all the time is what's the proper length of dryer vent cleaning of the ventilation I should have for my dryer to the termination of my house. And I believe code is 25 developed.
Rule of thumb is 25 developed feet length, but that includes like a 90-degree elbow is 5 feet. So,
Right.
So if you have two 90-degree elbows in your venting,
That's
that's
10
going to be,
yeah,
that's going to tack on 10 feet to anything you already
Right.
have.
and there's products where you can get around that, but you just have to have access to the right kind of venting materials and know what you're doing. I mean, people think it's so easy. I think it seems like it's not complicated, so they do it themselves, or even contractors do it themselves, and a lot of them, I mean, they're done wrong.
Yeah, as we can see in those pictures earlier.
Have you ever seen a fire inside of a clothes dryer?
Personally, on hand, yes. I was in the fire department volunteer for 14 years, and I personally did see a house fire due to a bad dryer vent. It actually turned out to be it was the vinyl style, and what happened was the fire had extended and it blew the gas line off. So now the gas line was a blowtorch in the house.
Wow.
So yeah, because you're right next to that gas. So yeah, it was a pretty bad fire. But going back to the items that we truck stock, we carry all metal. We don't have any plastic, any nylon. I see it every day, all the time, and for such a small charge, $30, I can replace your transition duct if it's not proper. It's a no-brainer. I'm there right there. So
Yeah. And it's probably worth it just in energy savings alone.
oh yeah, absolutely.
No, it was kind of timely. It was kind of funny. An ex-employee that worked here about 15 years ago, he saw the video we put online, and it was about house fires. And we're not professionals here, so we're it's a little goofy, but it's at our website and it's at Facebook, I think, the house fire video. But apparently he saw it and he made us this Christmas card, and it's like, and there's some we don't know who that is on the cover there, but I want to read this card. It's like, Bill, I love the video about cleaning dryer vents. Your video on Facebook brings back fond memories of my time working at Appliance Master. I believe that I was the first technician to write up a dryer cleaning as a recurring sale. We put people on a calendar that want to have it done every year or two. It was for a customer who had called to have their dryer vent cleaned after their neighbor's house burned down. So I hope that you and the family are doing well. Let's keep in touch. And that's from Avi. So he made this Christmas card. I don't know how that looked good, but Mr. Berger is on the back right there. Can you see that? Anyway, thank you, Avi, for the memories. And again, you can, if you want to see that video, it's at our Facebook page. And you can also critique it, so next time I can do a better job. And
Yeah, feel free to send us any of your questions or concerns that you might have, and then we can hopefully answer them next week, where we'll be on location looking at the basic setup for a washroom, which we're going to go and touch on the dryer venting that's currently installed, possibly offer some suggestions to update it.
it's going to be a surprise. We're just going to crash this house and see what it looks like.
Yep.
I'm sure we're going to find something. And in the meantime, if
We
you
do have one question. Can I interject here?
Sure.
How long does it take to clean a dryer, and can we get it done today?
Most of our service calls, if you call early enough in the day, we can schedule them same day. And how long it takes depends on how intricate the venting is. Usually it's under an hour.
I would say
What would
about
you
a half
say?
hour for standard first floor dryers, as long as the ventilation's on the first floor. If I'm not looking at too many elbows in the ductwork, I like to get a visual of the ductwork before I perform the cleaning. I can give a more accurate time for that. I do have a ladder. I can reach second floor units, but there's obviously another charge for that for labor. So
Yeah, you can schedule Donny or any of our other technicians are equipped. They're all professional, polite, on time, charming.
and we could be out as early as today.
Yeah. There's actually some availability this afternoon. So if anyone watching wants to schedule anything, give us a call. You can find our number at our website, appliancemaster.com. I think it's also listed on our Facebook page.
Yep. Let's see, APPLIANCEMASTER.com is easy to remember, I guess. That's easy for me.
You can call now at 1-800-752-7123 and schedule today.
Excellent. All right, I
Well,
guess
thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, Tuesday the 18th, 12 p.m.
see you then.